program was pre-recorded.
You've entered the Fletch Nation with Roy Fletcher, political analyst and socio-political prophet, and Kevin Gallagher, TV and podcast host and opinionated jackhole. So settle in, grab a beverage. It's time to talk some politics. It's Fletch Nation. Now here are the boys.
Hello, coming to you once again from Old School Barbecue Smokehouse on Coursey Boulevard in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And this is Fletch Nation. Glad to have you with us. He's Roy, I'm Kevin. Roy, we don't normally start with state stuff or stuff going on within the state, but I think the big political story, and I think it's of interest statewide, is there was an attempt to recall the mayor of New Orleans, LaToya Cantrell, and it failed. Failed
miserably.
Miserably. I mean, tens of thousands of votes shy of getting the 45,000 votes needed. This is according to the governor's office, which issued a press release yesterday morning.
Yes, they were very happy, I guess.
Yeah, I imagine they would. I mean, you know, Ms. Cantrell is a Democrat, governor's a Democrat. So.
Yeah, and but I mean, like you say, it was tens of thousands. And the question is, what question were these people who were getting these signatures asking the people who were signing?
Well, I'd like to think.
Are you a registered voter in all these? Oh no, I'm not. Well, then you don't sign this.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Goodbye. Thank you for your support. Keep walking.
Yeah, you don't like her either. We get it. But we're running the show here.
According to the governor's office, like over 30,000 of the signatures were not residents of Orleans Parish that were qualified to vote in a voting district.
Yeah. Now, so something happened. Either they were gone, they really didn't live there, but they were on the registered voters rolls, or they thought they were registered, or they were just willy-nilly taking names and letting them sign it.
Well, you know, with any city, you've got people that live outside the city, but they feel vested in the city because they work in the city.
Yeah.
They're out to lunch and they see the tent up in the parking lot. At,
well, they go sign it.
Raising Cane's, and they go, I'll sign it.
I'll sign it. But
it's like, forget that I live in Slidell, I'll sign it.
But that's incumbent upon the people who are running it to go, well, that's good. Here's one you can sign just for public consumption, but here's the one you have to sign so we can get this done.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, whatever. But you need to ask, and you needed to know, and I'm wondering, one of the things I'm wondering is that if there were people that thought they were registered to vote in Orleans Parish that had moved out but hadn't gotten the registration current where they, you know, in other words, I'm suggesting maybe the registered voter rolls down there in New Orleans ought to be taking a really good look at.
Maybe they weren't fresh.
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't fresh. No,
maybe they weren't, or maybe they hadn't been purged.
And remember now,
you heard what I said? Or maybe they haven't been purged. Yes.
But remember now that there was a deal struck. There was a court case pending about voter rolls.
That's correct.
That was filed by the No LaToya group.
Right.
And they said some of these names are no damn good, and it was settled out of court in an agreement between the Orleans registrar and the Secretary of State's office to remove 5,000 names. It would be 5,000 less names, which I believe it was. They took off.
Well, I mean, I think they thought that was sufficient, right? They had evidence to take those people off.
Yep.
Okay.
So it meant that they had, where they originally were going to have to get 49,000 certified signatures, they only had 45,000.
Yeah. And so, but the question, I mean, it nags me. I don't know if it's right or not, and I'd love to know is what's the deal with the voter rolls down there?
That's a good question.
I don't know the answer.
Roy, come on, you've watched enough election nights. What's the parish on election night that people are always watching? What's going on down there in Orleans?
Yeah.
How come the vote in Orleans is always
not
late?
It's not in. That's
everybody else has reported their vote. We're still waiting on Orleans. And there were jokes made for years about, well, Orleans is still trying to figure out how many they need.
How many they need, you know? I mean that's the joke, and
no accusations being made by these two gentlemen here.
You can always, Orleans is going to be past 50% reporting. I mean, in other words, after the 50% mark, then Orleans starts kicking in a little, and then about 70 it kicks in really heavy. But there's still votes left out. Mm-hmm. Okay, and finally it comes in about at 90% of the actual vote that's cast.
So let's talk aftermath. The governor says no recall election, not enough votes. The No Latoya group can't try it again in this calendar year, I don't think.
So look, the mayor has been, you shot at the king and you missed, right? If you're going to shoot the king, kill the king. Okay, but
nobody is suggesting that anyone killed the mayor.
No, I don't mean that. That's
figure speech.
That's not what we're talking. Figure speech. Okay, but the point is that she's now, I would say, fair to say, she's emboldened. She's emboldened. There's no question about it. And the question becomes, emboldened to do what? Continue on down this road that created all this. Ooh, I almost said something.
You almost said it.
I almost said it, didn't I? All this mess.
Oh, it's cable TV.
Or does she go, look, I got the message. I get the message. I'm going to try to.
That's an excellent point. Will she come out of this being bolder and more empowered about her behavior up to this point, or will she think, you guys, you got through?
Yeah,
kinder, gentler teeny from this point on.
Now, if I'm an advisor to her, I say, look, you escaped this, and it's okay, and it's a good thing you did. We're all for you. If I'm the advisor, right? But I said, look, but they sent you a message, Mayor. Let's start doing some things that are, how would I say, that make people feel better about you. That would be the way I would say it.
And about themselves in their city.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like she don't have a problem.
She has, in my opinion, a public image that she is using the office of mayor to enrich herself in her own life.
Or at least to
swanky trips, upgraded travel, 4-star hotels in Paris with a view of the Eiffel Tower, that sort of thing.
As they say, she's living high on the hog.
She's enjoying the perks of the office.
Okay, that's okay. But living high on the hog too. Okay.
But
the even a bigger point, Mayor, you got the #1 city in the country for violent crime. You kind of might want to start dealing with this in some kind of systematic and publicly appreciated manner.
And Roy,
that kind?
I agree. Her problems are not over, though. Okay, so she's not going to face a recall.
Yeah, she's still the #1 city in the country for crime.
She's correspondent in a very messy divorce case.
Absolutely.
Named correspondent in a messy divorce case.
Yes.
She has investigations going on for ongoing spending.
Yes.
The use of the city-owned apartment.
She's got Lee Zurich down there.
Yep. So she may have to, at the very least, pony up a bunch more money out of her own pocket.
Yeah, and I mean, I just
expenses.
I would just counsel her to try to cool it, chill it, and go do what people expect a good mayor to do.
Yeah, spend some time in your office solving problems, Lee.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think that the city will feel better, and I think that now, given the nature of New Orleans, when we come back, I'm going to talk about a new study by Wallet Hub, which is a group of people that do a lot of consumer, that kind of thing, analysis, and do a bunch of work on movement around the country. And when we come back, we will get into that because it's quite enlightening.
3 minutes. Be right back.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
You could be driving a...
Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Say, welcome back to Fletch Nation. So glad to have you with us. Say, Roy.
Yes.
What is ROI?
ROI, rate, return on investment.
Return on investment.
Yeah.
How would that apply to a state?
Well, let's see, it would be this way. You take all the tax money that you give the state, and then you look at the services that the state provides you, which is why you're paying the tax money, right?
Right.
And then you figure out how you are doing on the outcomes like test scores and crime rate and those kind of things.
Out-migration, public safety, public health.
Yeah, a number of
education.
People. Number of people actually working in the labor force, the amount of money they get paid. In other words, how well off are you citizens? That kind of thing. How good are your roads? You know,
so a lot of different metrics.
Yeah, there were 29 metrics.
Wow, that's a lot.
So how did Louisiana rank on return on investment?
By the way, this was published by Wallet Hub.
Yes, which and the experts on it was an associate professor of accounting at TCU.
Okay.
Stephen Lush, or something to that effect. An associate professor of accounting at the Madden School of Business at Lemoyne College. Mm-hmm. The director of accountancy and assistant chair of accounting and law, finance, and business at Eastern Illinois University. And a DBA, CFE, whatever, blah, 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 professor of business administration and accounting at Southern Nevada.
Passel of eggheads. Gotcha. How did we do?
On the rate, or on the return on investment, Louisiana came in dead last.
Great.
50th.
Why am I hearing Bobby Jindal right now? Top all the bad lists, bottom all the good lists.
I can't, it's hard for me to grasp, but I know that people in this state feel that way. Because I just finished a major poll for somebody that told me, and when I explained the poll to the people, the clients, I said the problem in Louisiana is that people feel hopeless because they do not think anything can be done right, correctly by state government or state politicians. We are dead last on the return on investment. I think the people in this state know that, right? Okay.
It would seem.
So the question becomes, so what was our total score? Well, our total score was 32.48. Well,
out of a possible 100?
Yeah, let's see here. The top one was 71. That was Virginia.
All right,
Okay. So
gives me scale. Thank you.
So I gave you a scale. So we were down at the bottom at 32. The state right before us, 49th, was New Mexico. It was a 34.58. In other words, it was 2 points higher than us. 2 points. I mean, we in the bottom. We in the bottom, folks. We down there. Okay. So on different issues.
Hashtag barrel scraping.
Hashtag dumpster fire. Okay.
Dumpster fire.
We are 48th in education. I know that doesn't surprise anybody. Okay. We're 48. Okay, I'm going to make a point about all this in a minute. We are 45th on health care. We just dumped $1 billion or more into health care because of COVID, and we're 48th.
Yep.
Okay.
The greater share of our annual state budget goes into health care.
Goes to health care. We've been dumping money in health care for so long. We ought to be the healthiest state in the country.
You would think.
Yeah, but guess what we are? One of the sickest. Okay, that's the bottom line.
Well, that's because we're all so fat and we eat all that food.
I don't care what it's from. In safety, you know, like driving your car, not getting shot, not whatever. Personal safety, okay? We're dead last. New York is better than us. Illinois, Chicago, better than us. California, better than us. Really a fine. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, better than us. Nice number. Economy. We've heard so much about how all of these people are working in the state, and everybody's happy because we got
low unemployment.
No, the historic low. We're 47th. Oh, okay. Well, we're not 50, but okay, we're 47.
Well,
Let's see. Before us is New Mexico, and I can't find number 50 on here, but I will. So, and then the last one is infrastructure and environmental, fighting pollution, okay?
Oh, we got to be terrible.
We're 42nd, which, I mean, that's the only one we did well. Remember, right? I mean, that's not what
we have made noticeable improvements on it.
Well, I guess we have. That's assuming that 42nd is doing well.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's doing better. Does that count?
It's doing better than 50. Okay, that's the bottom line.
Doing better than 50.
So what all this tells you, Kevin, is that, I want to do one thing before I do this.
All right.
I got another chart that I want to go to. Y'all bear with me a second. It's a little thing called the Tax Foundation.
We need to get you like an iPad.
Yeah, I know. So the Tax Foundation noted.
I know the Tax Foundation well.
That we are one of the highest tax states in the South. Like Texas is ahead of us by $100, and if you include Virginia in this thing, we're second. Okay, the second highest tax state in the South. But if you take Virginia out, because you could argue that Virginia has, because of our migration out of Washington, D.C. into Virginia, you could certainly argue Virginia is now more like the East Coast than it is.
When you say highest taxed, is that like broken down into a per capita figure? Or
yes,
like
I'm sorry, I say that. Per capita. Per capita means you take the whole population. That means little babies and infants, population. And you just take the amount of tax dollars spent or gathered, and you just divide it by the number of people. That don't mean that everybody's paying taxes. It just means this is the kind of, and it's a measure of. So we're taxing, and we're getting nothing in return. Our return on investment is the lowest in the country. So Kevin, when people come to you and argue like many politicians do. All we need is a new tax for this. The answer, folks, is we're not getting anything for what we pay. We're the lowest in the country. Don't ask me for another dollar in taxes when y'all wasting the money. Something is absolutely critically wrong with state government if it can't produce anything that's even a semblance of not last.
Well, I have some thoughts on that. Shall I?
We'll wait till we
share them after the commercial. Then let's take that commercial. Give us 3 minutes. We'll be right back with my thoughts on why government's so inefficient.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi gang, Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
We'll talk about Costello. All right. If you're just joining us, Roy and I, in our last segment,
so Kevin, give us your view on.
Well, let me do a quick recap for those just joining us. Wallet Hub did a study that ranked states by state, a ranking of states for taxpayer return on investment. Louisiana, guess what? Boom, bottom of the barrel overall for taxpayers' return on investment. Now, that would indicate that they collect a lot of taxes and they don't make good use of them. Why do I think that is? Well, I've seen some stuff. I've known some people who worked in state government. If you work, now, the rank and file are what they call the non-classified employees. No, excuse me, the rank and file are the classified state employees.
That's correct.
People that have a job and they're going to have a job.
Protected by civil service.
Doesn't matter who's the governor, they're protected by civil service. And then we have the non-classified employees, which are largely appointees, political appointees.
Yeah,
when somebody comes in, takes over the division or the agency or whatever, they're allowed to bring in a certain amount of their own people.
That's correct.
And these salaries, you would not believe, ladies and gentlemen. They are a matter of public record if you go digging for it. But let's just say there are a number of positions here in state government in Louisiana where a person can go to work for a governor, work through 4 or 5 years, and be a millionaire on state taxpayer dollars. And to me, I don't think the taxpayers of Louisiana should be in the business of making millionaires. I think that good people should get a fair wage, but it is public service, and therefore salary should be
and we also have
moderate.
We also have university system, LSU, universities, particularly LSU, that are top heavy in vice chancellors and chancellors to chancellors and assistant vice chancellors and goofy stuff. And
let's just say a lot of BS created positions.
Absolutely.
So that so-and-so can have a job.
Let's put it this way. If you're a normal human being and you look at it, you would say it's a BS position. Now, I'm sure there's some academic has some sort of, but the BS positions. I remember a couple of years ago, the highest paid public official in Louisiana, I think, was the coach. The
football coach.
And the second highest was Gallagher, the chancellor of the LSU Medical School in Shreveport. I don't know if anybody's looked at while he was there being paid second highest, looked at the rankings of the LSU Medical School in the state of Louisiana, but he should have been fired before he was. Okay? I mean, so but it's even worse than that, Kevin. It's almost like the state government can't deliver anything that people can say, boy, I'm proud of that.
They did a good job.
Yeah. Like, if they can go in to build a road, they don't build it in 6 months like Florida.
They build it in 6 years.
Who built a bridge in a week. It takes a decade. Or it takes 5 years. And you got to back the traffic up all the way from Baton Rouge to Gonzales to get it built. It's remarkable how things here.
They just can't get the state of Louisiana seemingly can't get anything done. Let's let's tote them up real quick. Let's go back a few months. Department of Children and Family Services, state agency. They're under fire because just in the city of Baton Rouge alone, 2 young children, toddlers, that were under their care, they had caseworkers work in that household, work in that family. 2 young toddlers got their hands on their mother's fentanyl and ate it and died. That's in Baton Rouge alone. There have been other overdose deaths around the state. So Department of Children and Family Services, they apparently can't do their job. The outgoing, the lady that resigned, Secretary Walters, she said, we don't have enough people, we don't pay enough money, we need more people, we need more money. That's always the answer, give us more money.
Yeah, well, but that is always the answer, and it's not those caseworkers' faults. If they have 100 cases, they got far too many cases. That's the way the question is how are you managing what you have? How do you manage your casework? How can you manage the cases in a way that makes them efficient? There's not that question asked.
Yep.
How do you do this? Motor Vehicles Office is under fire now.
With hearings just yesterday at the Capitol, with lawmakers wanting to know why are so many constituents calling and complaining about the Office of Motor Vehicles.
You know what? The lawmakers are part of this problem too.
Yes, they are.
I mean, I'm not going to be, not everybody, some aren't, some are. But the lawmakers are part. You got one set of lawmakers that all they can talk about is adding to the budget, and one set of lawmakers that say all they can do is say no, and there's nobody going, wait, how do you make this work?
Yep.
And that's
because
it's easier to do both. You get headlines.
Well, it's also about our team winning.
That's right.
Whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, come on, let's not kid ourselves. It's about our team winning. And that's why we don't get progress.
And then they make decisions like this. I don't know if they're going to make it. They got a big surplus. Billion and a half. No, billion and a half.
1.2, something like that.
Okay. What are they getting ready to do? They're getting ready to give teacher pay raise. Everybody's for that, right?
You can't do that with surplus money. That's one-time
money, and you're having a reoccurring expense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's going to happen next year?
We're going to have to raise. We're going to have to keep that penny tax to pay those teachers now.
I think it's 4 pennies or 3/4 of a penny, whatever it is. That goes off the books. So they're going to have a decision to make. Do we face a $1 billion shortfall, which they will, or do we keep the penny or whatever it is, the amount that's being taxed? And nobody says, guys, if we give this reoccurring expense, we're getting ready to dig a hole deeper than what it was.
No.
And that's why you're going to have $1 billion shortfall.
I think that I can speak for Roy. Neither one of us think that teachers don't deserve, they deserve a raise. Teachers deserve a raise. Their job sucks. Kids are terrible these days. Just to be a teacher requires great bravery.
But Kevin, here's the thing. We're 48th in education, and we've been that for years, at least the last 20 years. I mean, we've been that since about 2003. We went through a spurt there where we went up in the charts and so on and so forth for 8 years under Governor Foster. That we did on education, but then we started falling back, and now we find ourselves stuck and stupid.
Well, one dumb idea that people repeat over and over and over again is they think if we pay you more money, you'll be better at your job suddenly.
That's not true. If you give this system that we have more tax money, you will get the same result because we're last. Nobody's changed that. But we got to change and go to a break, and we'll be back and talk about national policy.
There you go.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Gallagher High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Hey, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to royfletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
It's Fletch Nation. Thank you for being with us. We're so glad to be seen on your Pelican Broadcasting, which is carried on Cox Systems and Spectrum and
Channel 20 in Baton Rouge.
Channel 20 in Baton Rouge. Alan Cable.
Alan Cable.
And our good friends at
I think at AT&T.
AT&T Uverse. That's it. Thanks so much. So wherever you're watching, thanks so much for tuning us in. So
you're not learning anything, but I'm glad we're tuning in.
On Sunday, all I could hear anywhere, wherever I tuned on any television program, was Donald Trump going to be indicted tomorrow. They said the first story I heard was arrested tomorrow. Arrested tomorrow. Then it became, well, maybe he'll be indicted on Tuesday.
Yeah, and then today, which is Wednesday,
the grand jury in New York decided to take the day off.
We're gonna take the day off.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go
too many tacos on Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're feeling.
Let's understand what. Let's kind of put it in perspective. And the perspective is not just that event. The perspective is other events, particularly one event. James Comer, the chairman of the Oversight Committee, I think, Government Oversight, has now obtained a $1 million payment to Hunter and several women in the Biden family that was made by a Chinese businessman who's very close to the Chinese Communist Party. Comer says this is just the beginning. Now that broke last week, right? Suddenly, Alvin Bragg, the Democratic DA of New York City, who ran on the platform of, I'm going to indict Trump. Okay. Suddenly, the grand jury, somebody leaked illegally out of the grand jury that we're going to indict Trump next week. So, apparently, some reporter decided they might arrest him. Oh, handcuffs. Oh, Trump in handcuffs. And of course, in his own way, Donald decided, great, let's just blow this up. They're going to arrest me next week. And
he's all over Twitter with it.
He blew that story all to hell out there. And of course, it got repeated 1 million times. But there's one other event that occurred. That's kind of interesting. And understand, folks, when you see a poll in the newspaper, the Trump people, the Biden people, all of that, they got polls too. They have polls too. And they know what that poll in that newspaper is trending toward. Okay, I mean, in other words, they see things that are trending. They get things that are coming at you. So the Daily Mail yesterday, let's think it's an English paper.
Yes, it is.
A British paper. Kind of came out with something that was interesting that they had done, which means that everybody had also done their own polls and knew this. Well, it found that Trump had a 28-point lead over DeSantis in the Republican primaries. The biggest lead he's had. DeSantis was down to the lowest point he's been, 26. So Trump was 54, DeSantis was 26. and very close to Joe Biden. And this was after the story blew. Okay, the Trump let it rip thing happened, and really blew the story up. So they all knew that too. Okay, now I'm put my tinfoil on. You know, I'm being conspiratorial here, but politics is conspiratorial in many ways. So then, on Monday, a guy named Robert Costello, who had been a lawyer, the main lawyer for Michael Cohen, the main witness against Trump in this, who went to jail for campaign finance violation, for lying to Congress, and for something else. I can't imagine somebody going to jail for lying to Congress. But anyway, he did.
Well, that was Nancy's Congress, so.
Well, I mean, what do they do to each other? So anyway.
They do to everybody.
So Cohen, yeah, that's true. So Cohen ends up in jail, but now he's back and he's going to get Trump. Okay. So Costello goes to the grand jury, voluntarily went to the grand jury and said, hey, what y'all getting from this guy Cohen is crazy as hell. Because I had him in my office and he told me Trump didn't know about a $130,000 check Cohen wrote to Stormy Daniels. And he didn't know about the loan that Cohen took out, the bank fraud I think was the other, that Cohen took out to pay $130,000. He told me that. He was walking around talking about committing suicide and that he would say anything to keep from going to jail. But
this guy Cohen is a mess.
But in the middle of all that, he's telling them Trump didn't know anything. So Costello's point to the grand jury, he had 370 emails, 330 emails. The grand jury only focused on 6. And Cohen said the DA was trying to focus me only on 6 emails because they didn't want to know the truth, but I inserted in my answers everything I knew, which is a really good grand jury witness and shows that Costello had nothing to hide whatsoever. Because you don't do that if you got something to hide, because you get perjured. So I think that was on Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember which. No, it was yesterday, I believe.
Yesterday.
Tuesday. So we're on Wednesday now, and suddenly what was imminent on Tuesday, which was an indictment, the grand jury takes the day off on Wednesday without an indictment on Tuesday or Wednesday. Folks,
which makes me think one's not coming Thursday or Friday.
There's some trouble in Gotham City. Okay, in the grand jury. There's some people on that grand jury going, well, you know, Mr. DA, you're not going to lead us down this road.
And look, I'm even seeing talking heads on the left saying it's just obviously a political hit job and there's nothing to it. And,
there is something to it.
It's not significant enough to go after a former U.S. president for.
But there is something significant about it. There is something really significant about that. They chose to simply use the prosecutorial system to attempt to undermine and destroy a human being. And the leading candidate against the current president. And that is significant, and because that's going to get repaid.
You do know, don't you, that if Donald Trump is convicted of anything, he can never run for public office ever again.
That's not true. But we keep going.
Can he?
Yeah, I think he can. I think he can run. I think he
or
can.
Or there are a list of crimes he must be convicted of, but they basically want to prevent him from running for anything.
Yeah, well, it depends on the crime, and we're going to get into a couple of other ones when we get back.
One more coming up. Stay there.
Oh, we have one more. Okay.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good. but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
And we're back with Fletch Nation, the one last bite of the apple this week. So where were we? We were talking about Trump. Indicted.
Yeah.
Will he be indicted?
Okay, New York City, right? The New York. I think he avoids indictment. I agree with you. I do. Up there.
I just think if they were going to do it, it would have happened.
Now, yesterday in the federal court, I think it's in New York, but the judge, the federal judge Howe, broke the attorney-client relationship. She told the Trump lawyers told one of them that she wanted all of his contemporaneous notes, etc., and as it related to Trump. The attorney-client relationship, but there is an exception to attorney, and it's called, I call it the crime exception. If the attorney is involved voluntarily or even involuntarily in a crime that the potential defendant is committing, they can break them. But it's not exceptionally rare, but it is very unusual. Okay? So that judge is saying to that attorney, you were lied to by your client, and he's done things, and I want to see that all your stuff, and probably going to have to testify. My gut is that DOJ, the special prosecutor, said, son, you're getting ready to be indicted too for cover-up and the whole deal if you don't come forth with this, and we're going to get the judge to order you to come forth. I think that's probably what's going on. So what is going on here? Well, the judge is making the point, of which Trump vehemently denies, that Trump lied to the attorneys about how many top secret things were in Mar-a-Lago and was hiding them and so on and so forth. That's kind of the best I can figure out. That's what's happening. That's the game that's being played there. So that is, let's say New York is avoided. It appears that the special prosecutor had enough to get that judge to do that. Now understand, that was the judge's last day on the federal bench. And the judge was appointed by one Mr. President Obama.
No reason to think that he might be agendized.
No reason whatsoever. Just like Bragg, no reason whatsoever.
This is part of the problem with the American justice system, is that politics has entered the judicial so thoroughly.
It has corrupted it so thoroughly, and people view it. Because of that, people view it as, they get it. They understand what game are they playing here, and people are really quick with that. It's fascinating, particularly as it relates to Donald Trump, that people see it almost immediately, that what's going on. Yeah. Even the people that hate him, they get it.
Roy and I were talking about this during the break. Is that, I even hear Democrats going, come on. I've heard Democrats say that an indictment would be a horrible abuse of power by the DA in New York City. It's getting, they think that they're carrying out this grand Machiavellian plot, but people can see right through it. People see what's going on.
And as Kevin and I were also talking about, they're making him a martyr. Yeah, at least an underdog. The battling Donald Trump, the guy that takes on it all and wins every time.
Yeah, what do we know about Americans? They love an underdog.
They love an underdog. They love Rocky. I mean, that's a fact. And so they keep doing this, and the Democrats just may find that they elect him president.
There's still another legal sword hanging over
in Georgia.
Thank you. Hanging over Trump's
in Georgia. I'm not as familiar with that, but that seems to be the charge that is interference with an election. That during 2020, when he called down there and said, "Hey, man, people go find me some votes." I mean, y'all cheated down there. So, and of course, that raises a whole different question of was there cheating and so on and so forth. But the point is that those two things now he still faces. And 2023 will be not only active in Louisiana politics, but nationally it's going to be active in a prosecutorial sense at least two places. Washington, D.C. or New York, I can't remember where they got that complaint at, and down. And I think he also has a civil case. Somebody sued him some woman sued him.
I'm sure there's more than one person suing him in a civil court. I mean,
I'm sure too. Look, the problem is that they're dealing with a guy who just won't quit, and every day that goes by that he don't quit, and he keeps getting attacked like this, and what people sense, I think, is unfairness in some of this stuff, that they make him bigger.
Yeah,
they make him bigger.
The Democrats do not want to inadvertently make him a folk hero, which he already has that status with the hardcore right.
Yeah, you do. But now you keep beating the guy up, and sooner or later somebody says, that guy's still standing, he's pretty tough. I mean, he could probably handle the communists over there in Ukraine without getting us in a war. That kind of thing.
Speaking of which, in our last 3 minutes, you want to talk a little bit about the UK reign? Heard yesterday we're going to send them tanks a lot faster than we initially thought.
We're going to do what?
We're going to send them tanks.
That's good.
Much quicker than we originally expected, because we're going to send them tanks that have been refurbished and reconditioned.
Okay. No, I'm sure they'll appreciate that. The interesting thing that happened 2 days ago, I think, was the Ukrainians droned some rockets that the Russians had on a ship or something. They sent you know what I mean, a drone over it and popped the place and blew up a bunch of stuff and told the Russians, you need to go home, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, there's so much braggadocious stuff going on there and so much misreporting or I don't know what to say about the reporting out of it because we don't know. We don't see it. And we're only told what's happening over there.
Well, one thing we're told the simplest version of what's happening over there, and that's the evil Putin is invading the country because it used to be part of the Soviet Union and he wants it back. But, you know, the things between Russia and Belarus and Ukraine and some of those other nations have been going on for
a long
generations,
time. Yeah.
hundreds of years.
Yeah, long time. And so, I mean, but I'm sure we'll get around to dropping some more cheese over there too.
Oh yeah.
Well, we got to do that. I mean, you know,
there'll be another spending bill before summer, I believe.
I mean, after all, we got to pay for their pensions.
Yeah.
Which incidentally, Biden vetoed a bill the other day that now they really are stressing that the financial advisors and the money people have to invest in companies that have what is it called?
ESG.
Yeah,
environmental. Oh man, I forget.
Whatever it is, you know what it is.
Environmental, social, gender. I'm trying to
something like that.
Yeah.
You know what it is. And
now I got to look it up.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
But they're bringing political pressure to bear on people to adopt.
Not only political pressure.
Some of us might call woke standards.
Look, not only political, legal pressure. Legal pressure. They were supposed to tell people under the bill that they had a disclosure clause where you could tell a person that was investing, are we going to invest in this ESG because the government suggested it, and somebody could say, no, you're not, the investor. But now, oh no, we're going to force people. What is it, Kevin?
Environmental social governance.
Oh, that's wonderful. I like that.
In other words, forcing the Green New Deal down America's throat.
All kinds of things forced down your throat. Okay, and so we got that to look forward to. And banks. Now I've read yesterday, we have 200 stressed banks in America.
Yep. Janet Yellen says all is well.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine, Kevin. And I don't think we should be on this show talking about it's not fine.
Well, I don't want to scare people, but
no, we don't scare people. But
cash in the mattress is looking better all the time.
But I will say this: I don't mind cautioning them.
Yep.
And I think people are smart enough to know they got to be cautious. But you're smart enough to know the show's over.
Keep the eyes open, and God bless. We'll talk again next week. Bye bye.
Listening to Fletch Nation with Roy Fletcher and Kevin Gallagher. Remember, if you heard something that ticked you off, upset your sensibilities, or threatened your precious safe space,
the opinions expressed by the hosts and guests are purely their own and do not reflect those of this radio station or its advertisers.
So if you're calling a lawyer, or planning a boycott, or a cancel campaign, forget about it and join us next week for more Fletch Nation.